My name's Angelo, and welcome to We Want Picks. This is the only channel dedicated to UFC fight picks and DraftKings lineups run by MMA insiders and professional fighters. Every week, I join Dan Kramer and Nick Newell, two longtime professional fighters that have fought at the highest levels on the planet, as well as Jacob Lyons, a skinny kid from Indiana. So join us every single week for our full fight card breakdowns, our individual fight card breakdowns, our betting guide, and our DraftKings lineups. Next up at UFC 264, we have Omari Akhmedov versus Brad Tavares. And you love your Hawaiians, Jacob, so I'm pretty sure I know which.
I don't like Brad because if you did your research, Angelo, he beat a former lock of the week.
So. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people not to like then. So Omari Akhmedov, 4-1 in his last 5. Brad Tavares, 3-2 in his last 5. The reality is Brad Tavares has fought everybody on planet Earth at that weight class. He has fought every top middleweight on the planet for the last 10 years. Period. End of story. Brad Tavares' experience cannot be compared to Omari or anybody else at that level in this weight class. Omari Akhmedov is a very good grappler. He's very strong, and he has a ton of control when he wants it. Brad Tavares has good takedown defense. He's a solid striker, incredibly tough.
Good takedown defense, because I thought that the reason I picked Antonio Carlos Jr. back in January, my second ever lock of the week, was because I was like, oh, he'll take Brad down and choke him out. That's just what he does. I don't think he got one takedown. And obviously he's more of a jiu-jitsu guy that is not great at takedowns. So, we'll see how this plays out, and I'll give my breakdown later. But his takedown defense, at least against Antonio, when that's all Antonio wanted to do, and he just couldn't do it. That's why he won the fight. So.
Yeah, the takedown defense is the only thing that worries me. Here, but I do think Omari Akhmedov wins. I think he's just so relentless with his takedowns, and he is a wrestler first, so he does have legitimate wrestling skills. I think he's just relentless with his takedowns. He's incredibly physically strong. I think he gets Brad Tavares down and wins this fight, and I have him in my DraftKings lineup. So I'm that confident, $7,600. Even a couple takedowns. Takedowns are 5 points. So even a couple takedowns, some control time. I think Brad Tavares is going to spend most of this fight against the cage or on the mat, either trying to stand up or trying not to go down. So I have Omari Akhmedov. And before I let you do your breakdown real quick, bet-wise, this is one of the first fights I did put a bet on. I bet the opposite side. I bet, or I'm going to bet because they didn't drop it yet. As soon as it drops, I'm going to bet Brad Tavares at +3.5. So all that means is I'm buying points on the judges' scorecards. If Brad Tavares wins one single round, I win the bet. So my pick is Omari Akhmedov to win this fight. I think he wins a 29-28 decision, but I think there's some solid takedowns, some solid control, and puts in some real work. I think Brad Tavares can take a round, probably the first round, when he can defend some of those takedowns, and while he's fresh, stay on his feet. Then he'll lose the next 2 pretty badly, and I should win that bet. So as soon as those lines drop, I'm hopping on it before they move. And if you want to place that bet, the only place you're going to find those +3.5 bets are WeWantPicks.com/bets. Click one of the links, hop in there. That is literally the only place you're going to find those bets, and I pepper those everywhere. They're fantastic. Enough plugs. Jacob, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, so conventional wisdom says that Omari should be the lock of the week because I got to get my revenge against Brad for beating a lot for, almost, I mean, technically I guess he did beat him, but it's still a win in my book. But so to get revenge or avenge the loss from Antonio Carlos Jr., Omari, if he beats Brad, that means the loss from January is negated. And so then it turns to a win. Long story short, I'm picking Omari. He's not my lock of the week, but I'm picking Omari because we mentioned the takedowns and the takedown defense against Brad. Very, very good against Antonio Carlos Jr. But like you mentioned, Omari is a different animal. He's coming in to wrestle. He's not coming in to just kind of grab a leg and hope he can trip you to the ground. He's going to pin against the fence. He's going to work takedowns, multiple takedowns, trips, whatever he's got to do to get you to the ground. I think that's the difference in this fight. $8,600. I'm scared to death for anyone to spend $8,600 on Brad, especially because he's not really a one-punch knockout guy. If you look at him, he seems like he is a guy that just takes your head off. He has 5 KOs and 18 wins with 11 decisions. So, as this fight drags on, I think it favors the grappler and Omari. So he's my pick. He didn't quite make in my lineup. He's not lock of the week because there is, a former lock of the week on this card, and we have some other capable people as underdogs. So I like Omari to win this fight. I think he's good value at $7,600. I just put my money elsewhere. So.
Yeah, I mean, and that's and the big question, I guess, would be Brad Tavares's experience. I mean, that guy he has fought everybody. If you go through his record, he has fought. Not only has he fought everybody that's in the top 10 now, he's fought the top 10 for the last 10 years, all of them at that time. So he's definitely got the experience. So this is not the first time he's fought a very good wrestler, but he is a little later in his career. He's super young, actually, but there was a study that went out a few years ago that said MMA age has nothing to do with your actual age, but fighters peak at like their 14th year of competition, and then it's an incredibly steep drop-off after that. So, and they use Randy Couture and a bunch of older fighters that started later as examples. So I'm going on a rant here, but Brad Tavares has been around the block. He has some great wins. He has some losses against tough competition, but I think he's on the downslope, and a dominant wrestler like Omari Akhmedov, I think, has that advantage and gets that done. Monkey knife fight very quickly. I am perfectly fine. Oh, boy. I was going to say with the more. I do think this is a 3-round fight. 74.5 has me worried, but I think more is the play. I think Omari, when he gets on top, is going to be busy and get those strikes in. And Brad, when he's against the cage defending takedowns, pepper, touch.
I mean, yeah,
every single one counts.
That's the biggest difference. If this was significant strikes, I'd go less for sure. But total strikes, like you said, those little beep, beep, beep on the side of the head as they're trying to get takedowns and stuff like that, everything counts. So I would probably play the more here as well.
Yeah, I completely agree. Those are live, by the way. The Monkey Knife Fight lines are live right now as you're watching this. Open another tab. Go to playmkf.com/WeWantPicks. Sign up. Use the promo code and go ahead and play these lines now. They do move just like betting odds. As money comes in, the lines move. So if you like a line, hit it now before they move it.